Right, Year 7, welcome to Lesson 2 of the Gold and Silver booklets, where we're going to be looking at this question here, which is on page 9. How is the character of Edward Hyde presented in Chapter 1? So I know you've got your sheets looking like this, but just to make it easy for me, I've created this sheet, which is exactly the same. I've got your vocabulary in orange, I've got your retrieval box in green, I've got your extract in purple, and your multiple choice in red. So the vocabulary that you get given, these orange boxes, that's there for you to really push yourself if you want to try and get the top marks. So you're looking up what these words mean and you are trying to use them in your responses. The retrieval is just kind of to support you there, to explaining everything that goes on in this chapter, just for you to refer back to. The extract is really the bit that you need to be looking at to answer the big question, and then you've got your multiple choice question, which should kind of just summarise what you've learned in this lesson. So the extract, we're looking at Edward Hyde and how he is presented, so what type of character he is, how does he come across. So all at once I saw two figures, one a little man who was stumping along eastward at a good walk, and the other a girl of maybe 8 or 10 who was running as hard as she was able down a cross street. Well, sir, the two ran into one another naturally enough at the corner, and then came the horrible part of the thing. For the man trampled calmly over the child's body and left her screaming on the ground. It sounds nothing to hear, but it was hellish to see. It wasn't like a man, it was like some damned juggernaut. I gave a view holler, took to my heels, collared my gentleman, and brought him back to where there was already quite a group about the screaming child. He was perfectly cool and made no resistance, but gave me one look, so ugly that it brought out the sweat on me like running. So that's our introduction to Hyde. We're going to look at some of the vocabulary used by Stevenson to try and portray the type of monstrous character that he is. So, number one, we're going to look at the idea that there was two figures. We've got a juxtaposition here of two very different characters. Hyde, the man, versus this other little girl of maybe 8 or 10. The little man, although usually you might see this as a description, an adjective to try and suggest that they're little and meek and possibly have less power, with this, because of who Hyde is, you realise that it's shown that he's got very little importance, nobody really cares about him. The fact that he's stumping along, the verb meaning to walk heavily, almost like a bear might walk along, just shows that he's almost animal-like. He doesn't understand social norms and how to kind of behave in society. He stands out, absolutely. The fact that he trampled calmly, the juxtaposition of this aggressive verb and this relaxed adverb. I mean, how do you trample over something which is such an aggressive thing to do? Calmly, it makes no sense, which is almost like Hyde, he makes no sense. It suggests that he's really dangerous and unaware of how powerful he actually is. The fact that he then left her screaming suggests to me that he doesn't even realise what he's done. He's so unaware of other things that are going on, even to have somebody under him screaming, and he's still completely unaware of it, he just carries on. But for others that's hellish to see, so that adjective just means it's like being in hell because it's so awful. Then we've got like some damn juggernaut. This has shown his real power. So the adjective damn means condemned or doomed, especially to eternal punishment, so almost as if he's got no chance, he's damned. And a juggernaut is a large, overpowering, destructive force, so pretty much society has no chance next to him. He was perfectly cool and made no resistance. Again, I think that backs up the part where he was, what was the quote again? Trampled calmly. He just is completely unaware of the impact he has on other people, which would make him a huge danger to society. And then the last bit, the idea that the person speaking talks about how ugly he is, and the fact that it brings out a real sweat in him, suggests that he's not just ugly to look at. Something about his personality and his character is ugly. It's unpleasant. There's danger there. So your big question is, what type of character is he? You've got your green retrieval, you've got your ambitious vocabulary, I want you to have a go using all of those and all of that analysis that we've just been through to try and answer that question, please. Best of luck.